So that potentially had serious consequences. Punishments for filming in a national park without a permit can include fines, potential jail time, and a ban from the park, particularly if the filming is considered commercial, meaning for profit or a market audience. The exact penalties will depend on the specific park and the circumstances. But you could go to jail for posting your little trip with your cell phone on YouTube. Now, a lot of people say, well, my channels are not monetized, so I don't need to worry about that. I think you do because YouTube can put ads on any video it wants. If you're not in the partner program, it doesn't have to share the revenue with you. And by posting on a social media platform, you are supporting the business model of a for-profit business. So it's tough to take the chance. But I've known about a piece of legislation that I've been excited about. I found out about it last year. It is called H.R. 6492, the Explore Act. And that was passed by the House of Representatives back in the spring. And in it was a clause that's going to change everything. It's going to allow us to film as much as we want. And I was getting nervous about it because it was in the Senate forever and forever and forever. And I actually wrote the sponsor of the bill an email and said, hey, what's up? How come it's stuck? And I never heard anything back. I did have, if you want to follow a bill, you can set up an alert. And guess what? I just got an alert this morning early that H.R. 6492 has passed the Senate without amendment by unanimous consent. So the next step is just going to the president to sign, and there's no conceivable reason why he would veto the Explore Act. The Explore Act, it's got a lot of stuff in it about recreation and conservation. It's a long act. But let me tell you about the part that means something. And you notice I'm putting stuff up on the screen here so you can read along with me. Number 2, no permits required. The secretary should not require an authorization or permit or assess a fee if a fee for filming or still photography actively is not otherwise required by law. For filming or still photography that 1A involves fewer than 6 individuals, every YouTuber that ever was, meets each of the requirements described in paragraph 5, is merely incidental to or documented an activity or event that is allowed or authorized in the system, regardless of the number of individuals who participate in allowed or authorized activity, or whether any individual receives compensation for any products of the film or still photography activity. Now, it refers to paragraph 5 and stuff. I could spend a half an hour bouncing back and forth, but I'm not a lawyer, so if you're worried, get a lawyer to read the bill. But to me, this means as long as we're in parts of the park that are open to everybody and we're seeing things that are everybody can see, and that we don't have a big crew with us or any crew with us, and we're using our little cameras, it's fine. Now, technically, it's not going to be legal until it becomes law and the president signs it. And I'm assuming that's going to be pretty soon, certainly before January 20th. And it's a huge bipartisan bill. So yes, we're going to be able to film in national parks without fear of being turned in for doing something illegal kind of thing, because that's what happens to YouTubers a lot. Not that the federal government is watching what I do, but if someone watches what I do and thinks, well, I can make trouble for this guy, I'm going to report him to the national park system, and they file a report, that's when they get the attention. That's how Karen Nate got nailed. They had a viewer that dropped a dime on him, complained, and I think, you'd have to check with them, but I think that they ended up, they suspended the fine and just said, don't ever do that again. And I know a lot of big YouTube channels that go out of their way to say, well, today we're going to go to such and such a national park, so we won't have any video for you. Sorry. But they'll, after this bill signed, they'll no longer have to say that. This is great news for anyone that wants to film in national parks and post it on social media. So that's it. Special video. I'm excited. Take care. See you on the next one.